So I handled this fairly substantial probate litigation matter down in south of Houston. In that case, the dad had died fairly early. He was fairly young when he died. And when he died, he had two minor daughters. They were 14 and 16 at the time. And he was married to their mother, but the mother had two kids from a previous marriage. The dad had inherited, at the time, in the late 90s, about $5 million in Exxon stock, which would be substantially more today. And under his will, he left all of the Exxon stock in trust for the benefit of his daughters. But as long as his wife was alive, she got some of the income. Not all of the income, but some of the income. The wife became the executor. She never told the daughters what the will said. She always told the daughters, your dad left you nothing. And so when the oldest daughter was about 28 or 29, she was at the courthouse one day on an unrelated matter, and she always had this nagging question in her mind about her dad's will. So she stopped by the county clerk's office and asked for a copy of her dad's will and found that, in fact, her dad had left her all of the Exxon stock along with her sister, and she had the right during her lifetime to receive income, even though her mother was also receiving some of the income. And at the time, the stock was spinning off about $150,000 a year worth of income. Over the years that my client, before she found out what her dad had left her, she had ended up homeless with two of her children sleeping in her car with no money, no ability to provide for her children, while her mother had told her, your dad left you nothing. The mother had been taking all of the income every year and spending it on herself, and notably spending it on her children from her prior marriage. She was buying them cars, she was buying them ATVs, all sorts of stuff, and not giving any money to her two daughters that they were actually the beneficiaries of this trust and this will. And so ultimately we litigated over the issue. This case produced another interesting appeal, which I'm very proud of. This client, her life was radically changed for the better as a result of this litigation, because we ultimately settled the case. As happens in a lot of cases, we settled with her getting certain assets and certain income. But boy, she's called me a few times over the years since then and checks in occasionally. And she just has had such a different life completely because of the result we were able to get for her, because her mother never told her that she was supposed to get anything and never gave her a dime that her dad left her, which is really sad to believe that that's what would happen in a family, but it does. We were very fortunate to get to work with her, and I'm always curious to know how she's doing.